in units of length of metric units. So when it comes to metric units, I would like you to go to page 20 right now and draw this model with me so you can easily learn how to convert between metric units easily. So without further ado, let's just take a look at this, okay? So if you look at metric units, what is the smallest metric unit? So it would have to be the millimeters, right? The millimeters. And what is slightly bigger than the millimeters? We are looking at the centimeters, right? And what is slightly bigger than the centimeters? It will be your meters. And what is bigger than meters? It will be your kilometers. Now, metric units of distance should be very familiar to you because you have kind of grown up knowing metric units of distances as opposed to imperial units like inches, yards, feet, and miles. Okay, so to convert kilometers to meters, okay, I'm gonna draw my arrow up to here. Okay, to convert from kilometers to meters, you have to multiply it by 1,000. So say for example, if you need to convert 2 kilometers into meters, it will be 2 multiplied by 1,000 and you will get 2,000 meters. Now to convert from meters to centimeters, it will be a multiplication of 100. So say, for example, you are converting from 3 meters to 3 centimeters. It will be 3 multiplied by 100 centimeters. And 3 multiplied by 100, you will get 300 centimeters. And from centimeters to millimeters, you multiply by 10, right? As you can see, there's a pattern over here. So the other way, right? So if you need to change from cm to mm, you multiply by 10. Therefore, if you want to change from mm to cm, you divide by 10. So 30 mm divided by 10, you will get 3 cm. Similarly, from cm to meters, you will divide it by 100. From meters to kilometers, you divide it by 1,000. Okay, so say 7,000 meters divided by 1,000 makes 7 kilometers. Okay, so I'm going to skip the make connection if live because this is like an online video. Now, I will not do all these questions, okay, but I will just do a few, mainly the one on the right hand side, on the left hand side, and I will leave you to do the rest on the right hand side on your own, okay? So let us begin. 1 cm to mm. So when you do this question, once again, you look at cm to mm, you look at the infographic, cm to mm, you multiply by 10. So you write multiply by 10. 1 is here, so 1 multiplied by 10 equals to 10 and m. So 3 cm to mm, you multiply by 10. cm to mm, you multiply by 10, right? So 3 is here, I write 3. 5.2 is here, I write 5.2. So quite easily, you will get 30 mm. Quite easily, you will get 52. Okay, it is fairly easy, this unit here. So I'll just do a few more so you can understand roughly how to do this section, and then I'll move on to the problem sums. 20 mm to cm. Well, mm to cm, can you remember what are we going to do with that? mm to cm, that's the arrow, right? And it's indicated here, divided by 10. So I'm going to write divide by 10, divide by 10, divide by 10. I see 20 here, I bring it down. I see 40 here, I bring it down. I see 75 here, and then I bring it down. 20 divided by 10, I get 2 cm. 40 divided by 10, I get 4, I write 4 cm. 75 divided by 10, I bring it down, 7.5 cm. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. I'm going to do a few more here, and then I'll leave you to do the rest on your own. Meters to cm. Meters to cm, as you can see, is multiplied by 100. So I will write multiply by 100, and I see 2 multiplied by 100, I get 200 cm. Okay, 8 and 9 follows this. So let us try cm to meters. So let us look at the infographic table again. Cm to meters. Obviously, I look at this and I see divide by 100. So I will write divide by 100. 300's here, I bring it down. 300 divided by 100, I get 3 meters. Kilometers to meters. Kilometers to meters multiply by 1,000. So 1 multiply by 1,000, and I get 1,000 meters. 1,000 meters, okay? So fairly simple, fairly basic. So I'm going to do a few more where it could be a little bit more challenging, okay? Number 16 is still quite unspicy, 3,000 meters to km. So meters to km, right? And that's my conversion. Meters to km divide by 1,000. So I'm going to write divide by 1,000, okay? So 3,000 divided by 1,000, I will get 3 kilometers. Now, the last row is a little bit spicy, so I will do all of them with you. cm to kilometers, cm to kilometers. Cm is here, kilometer is here. So cm to kilometers, I have to divide by 100 first, and then I divide by 1,000. So I will write divide by 100, divide by 1,000. So this is 6.6 million, right? 6.6 million divided by 100 divided by 1,000, I will get 66 kilometers. Okay. Now 1.17 kilometers to cm. So kilometers to cm. Kilometers to cm. I have to multiply by 1,000 and multiply by 100. So I'm going to write multiply by 1,000, multiply by 100, 1.17. Okay. So you can do this on a calculator. All right. 1.17 multiplied by 1,000 multiplied by 100. I will get 117,000. 117,000. Okay, let us move on to the next one here. I have got 1.1 kilometers to mm. Wow, that is a big jump, isn't it? Kilometers to mm. Multiply by 1,000, multiply by 100, and multiply by 10. So I'm going to write multiply by 1,000, multiply by 100, and multiply by 10, and I put 1.1 right here. Now I'm going to type it out on my calculator. 1.1 multiply by 1,000, multiply by 100, and multiply by 10. I get about 1.1 million. So 1,100,000 mm. Okay. Now that I've done these few examples, I expect you to do unit 1, exercise 1, and exercise 2, okay, on your own. And then now I'm going to try out the examples on page 24 and so on. Let's try it out. Check your answers, okay, on page 24 once you're done. Or you can check back with me in class if you didn't attend class. So a Danny trapper needs to set a snare wire 30 centimeters above the ground. How many meters is this above the ground? Can you draw the diagram? So when you get a black heart question in 3.2, I expect you to draw a rod and draw a snare, and then you draw your ground. So that it is 30 centimeters above the ground. So I'll write 30 cm. How many meters is this above the ground? So basically, they are asking you to convert 30 centimeters to meters. You have to remember, cm to meters, you divide it by 100. So 30 divided by 100, you will get 0.3 meters. Okay, I've given them the answer and I've drawn the diagram complete. Okay, so this is very basic, very simple. Let us try the next one. You see a clock over here, right? So this is the clock style of question. A grown caribou is 2 meters tall. How many centimeters tall is a teenage caribou that is 3/4 of the adult size? So first of all, I will write 3/4. I'm going to copy this entire line down, okay? 3/4 of adult, okay? But what is the adult's height? It is written here, 2 meters. So I will write 3/4 of 2 meters, right? So what is 3/4 of 2 meters? Well, I'm going to change OF into multiply and I will write 2. So on your calculator, you will type 3 divided by 4 times 2. 3 divided by 4 times 2, I will get 1.5. 1.5. If your data is in meters, your answer will be in meters. But they want to know what is it in centimeters, right? So remember, meters to centimeter, you multiply by 100, right? So you will get 150 cm. If the grown caribou is 3/4 of the adult size, then through this working, the young caribou is, or the teenager caribou is, 150 cm. Okay, so let's try. Feel free at any one point to pause the video and watch how I do it and apply it to your individual problem in the assignment. Okay, a Danny elder says that a fish is about a hand's length long. If a hand's length is about 20 cm, how many millimeters is this fish? Well, in that case, you're just being asked to change from 20 cm to mm. Well, cm to mm, you always multiply it by 10. So it is 200 mm long. There you go. The fish is 200 millimeters long. The next one, a Danny family is building a teepee. The diameter of the teepee circle should be 6 meters. How many centimeters is the radius of the circle? Be very careful. This can be a little bit spicy. So let us try it out. First of all, you have to remember that the teepee's base is a circle. And in this question, what they are saying is the diameter. That means from this point to this point, okay, that this is the diameter I'm drawing. This from here to here, it is 6 meters. It is 6 meters. Well, I'm going to draw the same circle again, okay? You're going to imagine these two are identical, okay? So if this is 6 meter, what is this? Now you have to know that in mathematics, we call this line, this long line here, we call that the diameter, okay? Because it cuts its way through the circle, right, and goes through the point of origin or the center point. But when you draw a line from the center point to the outline of the circle, we call that the radius. Okay, so in mathematics, we always say that the radius, it is always diameter divided by 2, because as you can see, the radius is only just half of your diameter. So radius is diameter divided by 2. If your diameter is 6 meters, so your radius will be 6 meters divided by 2 equals to 3 meters. But what they want is centimeters. So 3 meters, how do you change meters to centimeters? You multiply it by 100 and you get 300 cm. Okay? And that is how you do the yin-yang style of question. Okay? So I have done all the examples for unit 3.2. Please proceed to do unit 3.2. If you hadn't done so already, I wish you a good day. Bye-bye.